Good morning, second graders. Today we are on page 21 of your student journal. We are on page 21, and today's objective says, today I will partition circles into equal shares. Okay, so today we will partition, and we see that in our vocabulary. Partition means to divide objects into equal shares. So today we're going to be partitioning objects, and the objects we're going to partition are circles. Okay, so we're going to divide circles into equal shares. And they give us some good examples in our vocabulary. So we see a whole circle, and we see a circle that's been cut into halves. I want you to notice, boys and girls, whenever you partition circles, you always have to have your lines go through the very center. Okay, sometimes people try to partition them different, but notice, boys and girls, I have a red pen, which means I don't want you to write this. Sometimes people try to do something like this with circles, and they have lines that don't go through the center. That's not correct. All of your lines, when you partition circles, have to meet at the center. Okay, so this is half or halves when they've cut it into two equal shares. Thirds is when they've cut it into three equal shares and they shaded one third is shaded. And then fourths is when you have 1, 2, 3, 4 equal shares and 1/4 is shaded. Okay, so our steps today say we're going to partition the circle into the given number of equal shares. And when we do that, we're going to make sure, boys and girls, that we go through the very center. And then we're going to shade one share. Okay, since we're going to shade today, you might want to stop your video right now and go get something to shade with. So a good idea would be a highlighter if you have a highlighter, or maybe a light colored pencil, or maybe a light colored crayon. So those would be 3 good choices to shade with. So please stop your video, go grab something to shade with, and then come back. Okay, friends, I hope you found something to shade with. I'm going to get started on my problems. Okay, my problem says, partition the circle into thirds. Okay, so partition means they want me to cut or divide, and thirds means into 3 pieces. Okay, so I know when I divide into 3 pieces, friends, I always have to go through the center if it's a circle. Not when it's 3 pieces, just if it's a circle in general. I always have to go through the center, okay? So I could do it like that. That would be 3 equal pieces. I could have done it like that, and that would still be 1, 2, 3 equal pieces. So here's just some different ways I could have done 3 equal pieces. And I could have shaded in any one of those thirds. They don't ask me to, but I could shade in any one of them and it wouldn't matter. It would all be equal. So on this one, I could shade in this one, maybe this one on this, and maybe this one. So what I've done is all of them were partitioned into thirds, and then I've shaded in 1/3. Okay, let's look at my next one. This time it says, partition the circle into fourths. Okay, so partition means to cut or divide into equal parts, and fourths means into 4 pieces. Okay, when it's circles, I know all my lines have to touch in the center. Okay, so I could cut it in half, and then in half again. Maybe this one I'm going to do more on a side, like it'll look like an X. And really, there's not another way for this, so I'm going to do this one the same. But when I shade in which fourth, it's not going to matter, friends. So that would be 1/4 is shaded. This would be 1/4 is shaded. And this would be 1/4 is shaded. So that's the idea, is make sure all your lines meet in the center. Okay, so let's try some of these together. We are on page 22 of your student journal, page 22. And here's our first problem. It says, partition the circle into halves. Okay, so let's underline the word partition. That tells us we're going to cut it into equal parts. And halves means there's going to be 2 equal shares. 2 equal shares. Okay, so the best, remember our line or lines have to all meet here. So for half, we can go right through the center. And then they want us to shade 1/2 of the circle. Okay, so friends, whatever you're shading with, let's color this side. So that is 1/2 of the circle is shaded. So our question says, how much of the circle is shaded? 1/2. 1/2 is shaded. Okay, I'm giving you a moment to make sure your notes are all just like mine. Okay, let's go on to our next one. Our next one says, partition the circle into fourths. Fourths means 4 equal shares. Shade 1/4 of the circle. Okay, so whenever we partition it, we have to make sure our lines meet in the middle. Okay, so the best way to do fourths, friends, is a line straight down and then a line straight across. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 equal shares. Okay, let's shade in this one. Because it says to shade in 1/4. So this would be 1/4 of the circle is shaded. And our question says, how much of the circle is shaded? 1/4. We only shaded 1 of the 4 pieces that we colored in. So that's called 1/4 is shaded. Okay, friends, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.